Welcome everyone to another edition of Nick's Collectible Creations. We are continuing the build of my N-scale layout here. The previous video did the bus wiring for the lighting and train control. I've also gone ahead and completed it on this side as well. So now in this episode I'm going to get power to the layout. I'm going to install a power supply, some things to get the power from the wall to the power supply, and odds and ends like that. And maybe this video we will have a train running. So stay tuned. Step 1. Find a suitable location to mount power strip. I think that'll work. Step 2. Try to make some mounting hole locations with a marker. Step 3. Drill the holes and hope you got those in the right place. Step 4. Screw the screws into the holes you just drilled. Again, hoping that they're in the right place. And finally, step 5. Fit power strip. Seeing if any of the holes you just did lined up with anything. You find out 2 of them do, you gotta figure out why the other ones don't. So it looks like it's just one of the bottom ones, so we'll just remove it. It's not like we're building the Empire State Building here or anything. And now we'll try this again. And there we go. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. And now it's time to go back onto the layout. So, here we go. So as life happens, so the memory card ran out of space, and so you didn't get to see me crawling on my hands and knees like a 3-year-old under the layout. So I spared you from that fun visual. So anyway, I got the power strip on, and the cable is plugged into the wall, so that's good to go. So now we're going to start focusing on the power supply installation. And I have decided in the interim of doing that, and this is the weekend now, and time has passed kind of a thing, I'm not going to use the little power supply, I don't think. I was fitting this up in there and it's just not quite, like, it hangs down a little bit about that far from the edge of the 2x4. So I'd mounted in there something like this with a 2x4 on this side of it. I could use it, but so I got another one, and this one is out of a more of a desktop, small desktop. This is out of a Dell, just if anyone cares. It's got the Dell Hell logo right there on it. So this will fit up, will tuck up behind the 2x4 perfectly, nice and hidden. That's what I'm trying to go for, is hidden. We still got the same thing, although it's a bit shorter here with the tail to plug into the motherboard, and we got just a couple wires here. No big deal, because I'm still going to use this guy, which is going to plug into him, and this is going to plug into a terminal strip maybe. There are some other voltages on these things as well. but for the purposes of the train layout, for my purposes, the 12 volt, the 3.3, and the 5 volt are the three that I'm going to be using. Well, maybe two of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the 3.3 for the general lighting of the buildings, or if I'm going to use the 5 volt. We'll just have to see. But the 12 volt will be used to probably power the DCC eventually, but for now the DC side of it. And then it should, this has got like, how many amps is this? This is 17 amps on the 12 volt side. So I could power my LED lighting as well that illuminates the layout there. So got a lot of amperage here, a lot of power in this one little box right here. So these are, I mean, you can get these on eBay for like 20 bucks used. They're just fine. This is a lot heavier duty than that other thing I was going to try and use too. So something to think about on your layout is if you've got multiple voltages going on, you might just pick up a computer power supply to do it on the cheap. So let's get this up in the layout, and well, that's just the next step in the whole process, I guess. So this time you're not going to be spared. So avert your eyes when you see a grown man crawling on his hands and knees. So I'm going to want to put this right here. And it's going to be perfect because I can just put a piece of wood right here to hold it, and I'm done, pretty much. Well, welcome neighbor, under the layout here. Let me show you what the little shelfie thing I built here is. You can see the candy cane Christmas cord right there, powering the layout, and all the fun stuff that's going on over there. So let me move you over here, bump you up just a bit. There's the power supply, and what I think is going to be the location, I'm feeling that's a good spot for it. So I need to figure out something to wedge, because wedgies are great. I'm going to wedge something in between here so that it holds the power supply, because I got, you know, movement. So I've got this piece of cork track road bed here, so we're going to see, and you know, that's just about it. Yeah, that's close. I think one more will do it. So we'll stick, I think we'll stick a chunk up there and maybe a chunk on the bottom. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and glue it right now, but what I am going to do right now though is I need to get the power cord situated up in here. So we got the power cord here. I've got these are actually coaxial cable hangers, but they fit these too, and other cords as I found out. So I've got the not so golden spike hammer here. We're gonna those into place. They like to pop out. They're not really my favorite thing to use, but that's what I got, so that's what I'm going to use. Again, it's not like we're building the Empire State Building here, so. I've been working on the railroad all the way long day. I don't know all the words to the song, but I'm doing it just to pass the day away or something like that. Alright. These don't work too bad for hammers, so let's go on. This is a made in China one too, believe it or not. I think. Seems like I saw China on this somewhere. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug this guy in, so I know where to go here, and we'll just direct you over to yonder. That's actually a trick because I don't want to have this as a permanent resident to this section of the layout. Yeah, I have to think about that. We'll be back in a minute here. Okay, problem solved. I just moved my cord hangy thing over to the piece of wood that belongs to this side of the layout and not the middle side. So that takes care of that. So I can just unplug it from the power supply under here and then pull these apart. Maybe right up in there, I think. Definitely got more cord than we need here, but I guess I could do this. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I think that'll work. Just leave this part of it over here unattached. I don't really know what benefit that'll give me, but I'd rather not have to find out than to have to find out. Alright, another golden spike driven. Alright, so we've got our power plugged in. We can just flip our dealy-do here to power the entire layout up. Alright, let's figure out some other stuff with this power supply. Alright, I got a short piece under here, cork bed, and a big long piece up here, so I'm just going to kind of wedge it all together up in here. Okay, well, that fits, so I can just take this little piece that's overhanging, trim it like so, and there we go. I like them when they're easy, you know? Alright guys, well, I guess we'll plug in the lighting for the layout now. So this is the lighting that I'm talking about here. This is an LED light strip that I got from Menards just to try. I got a couple other ones, and this one is so far, well, it's not terribly bright, but it's the best of the ones right now, so I'm using this as my test guinea pig to see if I like this, you know, cove lighting thing. And I do. So this is only a, I think it's a 600 lumen. Don't quote me on that. I think it's a 600 lumen per meter or whatever they gauge that at. I need to get something brighter. But this does allow you to change the color with your cell phone app, which I don't want to register for the app, so I haven't done that. It's got a push button on the controller which will change its colors. Right now I've got it in the mode of, it's warm white with a white mixture, so it's kind of a more color friendly, I guess, lighting balance there. Let me lower you guys down a bit here. You can see the light strip. I've just got it wedged between the brackets and the foam layer right now on the HO level. I got that just kind of draped across there. And there's the power cord. And I've got that plugged now into the wizardry down there that I was doing before. So it gives a pretty good lighting effect. And there's the noisemaker right there saying hello. Wondering what's going on in here and does it meet with her approval. So this is what I've got going on so far with the track arrangement, and I need to get power down from the level, the level here, underneath to underground to my bus wiring, and that's just going to be a couple areas. Again, this is all kind of a temporary testing kind of a thing right now, just so that I can, well, we're in the phase of laying track and running a train. That's the goal here. I've already run a train partially around this, but I want to lay track and run a train. So that's what we're going to do as soon as possible. It looks good for kind of a mood lighting. Gives a nice glow. I don't mind it. It's a nice soft glow at night. It looks brighter in the camera, I guarantee, than it is in real life. Definitely nowhere near as bright as the overhead lights I have had on in here. But this is just kind of an experiment right now to see if I even like this, and I do. So I think the next step is going to be to get some brighter lights under there. These are dimmable, but these are on their brightest setting. So I can go through and change the color on this. So we'll go ahead and do that here just to demonstrate the lighting capabilities. That's just white. And that's just, there's the mixture again. And there is turning to green and fading away. And there's red. Yeah, does this meet with your approval? The inspector is here. There's the color changing. It's amazing how dark that red gets. Okay, now we're just fading. Slowly fading. I kind of like that effect. If you want an RGB layout, there you go. And then we're back to the warm white. Warm white and white white, which is where I like it to be. So anyway, it sounds to me like I'm wanted by the official layout screener right there. So I guess that's going to conclude this video, guys. In the next video, hopefully we'll have some wiring done to the trackage. We'll maybe be able to see a train run. I think that's going to be next video's goal. This one's running a bit too long, so I'm going to say peace out, everybody, and we'll see you again right here on Nick's Collectible Creations. Woo!